Alrighty, guys. So today for me is a good day. For a few reasons. So I don't know how I want to start this video. I don't know how this video is gonna be received. I don't know how people are gonna feel about it. I mean, everybody's gonna have their different opinions, but I think this video is mainly for those who understand or have experienced and who have an open mindset. Out of those materials, I'm out of those too. I know I got pumpkins. Can't tell me I ain't got no pumpkins, bro. We gonna talk about something if I ain't got no pumpkins. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit was my experience with shrooms. It's kind of weird to be on here talking about, what's deemed to be drugs, but yeah, shrooms are basically a psychedelic herb, and some people have profound experiences with it, they say. And so, I don't know, people sometimes, well, they say they have transformative experiences, like people be hallucinating, popping out their bodies and shit, like on some astral projection shit. Like, I'm just gonna say, be 100 about it. That was not my experience. Oh, I did not know these wings do that when you can go into combat mode. That's kind of actually cool. So I think these are like the newest wings that they got in the game recently. For some reason, people do not like it. Like, yeah, personally, it looks a little questionable if you want to be a little spiritual about it, but as a design and the look and the color itself is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. And I honestly don't like a lot of stuff because of symbolisms, and I'm pretty metaphoric at times. So certain things mean certain things to me in a way where I don't want to represent stuff, but as it is in its natural state, natural without intentions and thoughts, probably, and whatnot else you want to combine with it. As a whole, the wings look really good, and I'm surprised that people don't want to wear them and use them. But off of that topic, if I can get off topic a little bit, I don't know what I want to do here, dude. Honestly, I don't have a game plan right now. I just thought I'll just hop on here and talk a little bit. So maybe I'll just do some random shadow missions, find me a little bit of money. I think all my stuff is repaired or prepared, whichever one. We're gonna get into this topic here. Alright, so the topic I wanted to discuss was my experience with shrooms. So yeah, my experience wasn't all, how can I say, extreme like a lot of people describe. I guess everybody is different, but my experience was like more like profound thinking, and in a way profound enough to really, like, I don't know, make me sit down with some stuff, sit down with some shit. Because I don't know, I feel like the experience I had with shrooms has helped me come to a realization of needing to be transparent and honest. And so I think part of the experience was my profound thinking or thoughts, and the other part of my experience was my faith, my beliefs. And so those combined together, I'm sorry, the volume's kind of loud on here. So all those experiences together has kind of brought me to a place where I'm just, I don't know why it's so hard to like multitask, like to talk and to strategize. Maybe it's just a me thing, okay? Maybe I just need to practice more on that, but it's just kind of difficult to control my thoughts and control this game at the same time. It's just me being honest, bro. It's just difficult, man. It's hard. Okay. I just don't know why I put myself in situations that are like this that are difficult. Just going in without thinking. Kind of dumb if you ask me. It just goes to show how much effort and thought comes into thinking when it comes to games and strategy. And yet people out here do this, is stream and watch monitors and talk to people, bro. I just be like, how am I ninja? I thought about like recording a bunch of videos and then just like talking over it. Maybe maybe that'll be easier, but I don't know. It probably would not be. I mean, it probably would be, but it'd be more time consuming. Because like, man, when it comes to preparation, I can be kind of lazy. So if I wanted to do something like that, it'd probably take me a minute. But sorry, I'm trying to stay on topic, bro, but it's just not working. It's not working that good. Get these guys out of my face. Goodness. I forgot that I have this available. Like I say I get lazy, guys, that would literally mean I get lazy. Like switching my weapons, going in my inventory, looking at different screens and monitors, making sure that watching how the enemy moves, bro, is like, oh shit. So, getting back on topic, my experience was more like profound thoughts that made me like sit with my thoughts. So, a lot of people say that shrooms and stuff, it helps with PTSD and anxiety and depression and all that. But honestly, personally, I think what it does is it makes you acknowledge your thoughts that are contributing to PTSD. Acknowledging some of your traumas and some of your past that contribute to these issues and thoughts. Some of your complicated emotions. And like I said, I don't know if everybody has the same experience. I know that was my experience. Just profound thoughts. I noticed that I don't share a lot of my thoughts. I noticed that certain things like judgment and a lot of things that contribute to fear and anxiety. I just had a greater realization of like, you know how we worry and shit. Just like we worry about everything, worry about what's gonna happen the next minute, the next hour, worry about like we would just worry complicate things. I don't know, guys. I just had like a profound thought of like everything that keeps me from being myself. This is the only way I can describe the experience with shrooms. And so I don't encourage anyone to do stuff like that, but if you do that, that's something you end up doing. Because for me personally, it's been on my to-do list for something that I wanted to do probably like a few years ago. I mean, I'm a little older now, so at around this time, it would not be the best. Well, I feel like it'll be a little less responsible for me to be doing those kind of things, but for me personally, I believe it was an experience that I needed to have for myself personally, for other personal reasons, and so I thought I would come on here and share my experience with that. And so yeah, here we are, guys. We're sitting up here talking about rambling on about shrooms and shit. So the next thing I'm gonna say is a lot of people do a lot of stuff. And now a lot of people do alcohol, a lot of people do weed, a lot of people do tobacco. There's a lot of drugs out there. There's some shit you should never touch in your life. And I'll say shrooms is probably like the safest thing you can probably do if you have to do anything. Because like, I don't know, man. You can drink some alcohol, you can probably end up killing yourself, killing somebody, especially if you're irresponsible, you're driving behind the wheel, so kill yourself, kill somebody. It's not real until it's real, right? Okay? So you're gambling with your life when you consume large quantities of alcohol, either yourself personally or, like I say, if you decide to be irresponsible, drive behind the wheel, other stuff I've seen. It's a lot of stuff people do in life. I've seen them end them lives or end somebody else's lives, unfortunately. And I just feel like most people who do these drugs or substances to get some kind of relief from the life that they're living, or get some kind of relief from the emotions that they're feeling because of how hard life gets and other things and whatnot. Damn, I don't have my cat open. And so, I don't know, guys. I realized that while on the shrooms, that I do not share my personal thoughts. Like, there was or has been like a fear with transparency and honesty. And I just don't think that that's a personal issue for me. I think that's somewhat of a worldly problem. Which is like, crazy to think about. But if you think about it, why some of the things happen in life for society, why we have so much hard time and difficulties with so many things, is that we have so many insecurities inwardly and externally. We deal with other people's insecurities and we have our own insecurities, and like I say, a lot of times we just don't have people we can be honest or transparent with. And so, for me personally, my shroom experience was like my own interpersonal therapist in a way. It just shows me, hey, it just kind of told like your emotions go into shock when you go through a lot of stuff. or you just, get to a point where you're just tired of everyday life. And I don't know, like we all got our personal struggles, personal weaknesses, and stuff like that. And my experience, like I said, with having profound thoughts, is like being freed from the cage of my mind in a way. But it always tells me I have to constantly do certain things or feel a certain way to feel like myself and stuff like that. And so, my experience in shrooms was very, how can I say, therapeutic, where it was more of an experience about coming to a place of self-acceptance and self-love. Okay, and that's just genuinely it, bro. It's just coming to a place of acceptance with yourself, and a place of understanding what you're, like I said, profound thinking. Like they say, life is pretty absurd, and it is. Whoever ever wise enough to say that, and I would agree with that person, that there is a lot of absurdity in life, and the people around you can and sometimes will bring you to a place where you're thinking like everybody else. And so, for me personally, I feel like shrooms is like just that light at the end of the tunnel that says, hey, look, man, you already knew all this, you already know what you're going through, you feel me? You already know how it is out here. You already know, like, only thing you can do is be you. So, unfortunately, the other thing I wanted to say about this whole experience is that, shit. Pardon me, guys. I'm kind of just now waking up a little bit. So let's see, I don't know where to go next. And so, I don't know, like, it's like all my insecurities and everything that I'm dealing with. Like I said, it's just like the shrooms brought me back to a place of self-acceptance and self-acknowledgement. Because, it's one thing that others around you maybe not accept you, but it's another thing. It's one thing for people to reject you or misunderstand you or not, you feel me? It's another thing for you yourself personally. It's like, we battle ourselves. Sometimes we battle ourselves, sometimes we battle our own thoughts. We're fighting with our own thoughts and our own feelings and our own emotions. And shrooms is just like, shut the fuck up, bro. That's what my experience did for me. It's just coming to a place of telling those thoughts, hey, shut up, bro. Which is weird to say because a lot of us, if we go to therapy, we can come to that conclusion ourselves. Sometimes, I don't know, man, I just feel like we get so entangled up in our negative thoughts, our negative thinking, and our negative circumstances, experiences, and stress, life, work, and stresses, that we kind of like go to a dark place. And that dark place takes us to depression and anxiety and shit. It's not a place anybody would really necessarily want to be when you're constantly feeling, hopelessness and despair. When you're constantly worried about everything everyone is doing and thinking. And so it's a weird concept when people say self-love. Like, what the hell is that? If I give myself a hug, I write myself notes in the mirror. Like the fuck is what's up? Fucking self love, right? But honestly, from my experience on it and with the shrooms and everything, self love is more, you know, is basically the love that you deserve. Basically, you know, knowing your self worth is basically it's self love. And I don't know, man. People think that that's a flawed I guess maybe I myself thought it was like, you know, that's bullshit. That's a flawed concept. But honestly, it's real because if you don't know your worth, who else? Not everybody around you is going to treat you with the worth that you deserve, you know. So if you don't know your worth, then you're going to always go to the level that people treat you by. And unfortunately, everybody don't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, you know. People all the time judge you, criticize you, belittle you, and put you down for the minute and little things. So if you're always bounced around by those things, if your emotions is always bounced around by those things, and you're constantly feeling a lot of things because of what you're not getting or what you're not always getting what you deserve, or people don't treat you, you know, they're not treating you like a princess and shit like that. Because we have a toxic society, unfortunately. Nowadays it's getting worse. We got cyberbullying, got online, you know, toxic relationships and friendships. Let's be real about it. And so eventually you just come to a place that if it's constantly in your life, you know, it's a pattern that keeps repeating. So you get to a place that you're kind of like deprived and shit. And if you didn't have a good family growing up, or if your family was neglectful, parents or whatever, you didn't get that security growing up. And let's face it, a lot of us don't. Even if we do, like, okay, we don't come from perfect backgrounds and families and shit, you know. So that's a lot of shit. I just feel like in our minds that we push down, and our emotions that we just shove down, people that we deal with or experiences that we're having, we experience like intense emotions from that shit, and we don't ever we don't ever take the time to really sit down with that, bro. When you're on shrooms, or you do shrooms, you're forced to sit down with all your shit, basically. And so, I don't know, I feel like that was my experience. That's what I experienced. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of drugs out there, a lot of stupid stuff. Like, I wouldn't consider shrooms a bad thing to do, or a bad thing to experience, or a bad thing to have. What I would say is, if you're under the influence, you know, do it in an isolated, safe place. Don't be trying to like drive a vehicle or anything stupid like that. You don't want to kill yourself, kill somebody else. But you know, we're those people out there in the world who party, turn up. I'll stay away from a lot of majority of the shit, weed and everything, stuff like that. Cause, you know, I guess everybody has their addiction or whatever they got going on. Everybody has their now and again stuff. Because let's face it, everybody does something. You drink, you smoke tobacco, you drink alcohol, you do something. You got some kind of addiction. Maybe you drink too much coffee, or coffee ain't necessarily too bad. But I think we all got something that we go to for to like self-medicate. And I can't say that for everybody, but I know a majority of people that I've seen and been around and dealt with in my life, in some shape, way, or form, you're doing something. I don't know, like, when it starts. Maybe after 18, you just like start doing shit, but you don't never want to do anything that you'll kill yourself before your time, right? So there's certain things I think that are worth experiencing. People put all kinds of labels and stereotypes and say all kinds of shit about shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, we can't really judge anybody. We can't necessarily be so hard and judge ourselves and stuff because, um, at some point we've all done something or done something stupid or tried something. And like I said, I think what our society suffers from is the lack of being able to be transparent. We can't be transparent with ourselves. We can't be transparent with other people. We can't, we don't have that honesty and the ability to be honest and transparent. We always got people who want to see the negatives and never, I think we just live in a fearful society of sharing our thoughts and emotions and shit. And so we feel like instead of finding comfort in each other, we gotta find special qualified people that you gotta spend shit tons of money to get some what do they call it? Get some fellowship. But I don't know, man. If you think about it, how many of us open up to people, open up, and able to trust, people with, things, emotions, feelings, thoughts, whatever. It's like some shit we wouldn't even tell our friends, our close friends. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it was something that had, I guess, had hit me while on my experience. A thought that occurred to me. It's just like, we also struggle with trust issues. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my experience. Maybe I just had a lot of trust issues and a lot of things like that. And quite personally, no, I still, in a way, kind of do. But I think that's more for, good reason to be cautious. But I just kind of find it, a lot of the emotions that were coming up while on shrooms. The absurdity of some of the ways that I was feeling about certain things. But, these are like, I think, real world problems, like, because we always got somebody or someone, who's, sometimes not as considerate or not as empathetic or not as understanding. I really think our society has that problem where we're not compassionate, empathetic, and understanding of like a lot of shit. Understanding of people, things, and situations, and circumstances, and life experiences, ups, downs, hardships, and different kind of things, and in this world we call life that we can experience over the years, or during the years, or in between the years. Feel me? Like, what the fuck? Not everywhere you go. Every place, every work environment is going to treat you the same way. You're always going to have something different, experience something different, go through something different, deal with somebody different, and different levels of positivity and toxicity. So, in the long run of what I'm saying is life can be a roller coaster, but you gotta have a place where you can just sit with yourself and know reality for what it is. Otherwise, you just get lost in your emotions. I think, kind of like how I was, or at least maybe that's how I see it now. I don't know if I ever saw it that way. But up until the point me doing streams, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression, and just unnecessary thoughts that we could say PTSD in a way, or anxiety disorder in a way. To the point where it has limited me in a lot of ways from doing things. I think a few years ago, after I injured myself, life kind of slowed down for me, and I think that's when a lot of the stress, anxiety, and things about life just kind of, hit me, but didn't really like hit me noticeably. It just like hit me and then just like went underground. And so, walking around like an emotional bomb, basically for maybe 5 years, and just not really ever acknowledging my thoughts or feelings about shit. It's kind of a weird thing. Okay, we're about done with this section, I think. And so, the reason why I made this video, because I feel like, people always have interesting stories to share about their experiences with stuff, experiences with different things. And it's just that transparency, I think, that honesty and transparency and being transparent with people and other people about our experiences, about our feelings, and about our emotions, that creates a sense of profoundness. Everybody takes away something from it. I was before I had did the shrooms, I was listening to a guy talking about his experience on it and his experience, and honestly, guys, I wasn't all the way out here looking like, oh yeah, I could just go to her shrooms, bro. I'm gonna hit up anyone, man. It was just something that's on my mind. It's like, you know what, I want to try this at some point. It's just something I kept thinking about. And then, long and behold, my friend just like, called me up, say, hey, bro, let's go chill, hang out. So, yeah, that's kind of how that took place. But for me, it's interesting how it all happened. The timing that it happened. It had just so happened to be that, that was something I was looking for in my life. And I guess, God kind of brought the opportunity across my path that if that's something I wanted to try, I honestly wanted to do. He wasn't against me fully experiencing that. So, let's see. That's done. So we can go ahead and turn that in. So, my overall thoughts on shrooms, particularly, I don't know. I think it's personal. It's a very personal experience. It's a very personal experience because I think the best thing about it is that it just brings you to a place where you're forced to sit down with your emotions and with your thoughts and what you're feeling, what you've been through, what you've experienced, and it brings you to a greater sense of understanding. Because I feel like, a lot of times we're just trapped by our emotions. Like, we think profound thoughts, but then our negative emotions come, and we just do not have the emotional strength to say, hey, no, that's, you feel me? We just don't have the emotional strength and emotional understanding to say, hey, no, these thoughts, they missing some context behind the way I'm thinking and feeling. Because, at the bottom of it, I feel like all the shit that we think about and all the shit that we experience and all the shit that we go through can be overwritten. We can rewrite ourselves if we come from a place of love and understanding. And so that's my conclusion. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I make videos like this, or I've made videos like this in the past without taking any shrooms or anything like that. And that's why I say, a lot of my conclusions comes from my faith, like based on my faith, what I believe in. And so, yeah, I as an individual believe in Jesus Christ. That does not by any means that I'm some perfect holy dude with magical powers like a lot of people proclaim, or a lot of people act like, you know. I don't know why people act like their lives are perfect. I don't try to, you know, pretend like my life is perfect and I'm doing everything right, because I just feel like that's the most unrealistic thing. And I think that's the problem with our society, is like we do so much to make our life look one way when our life is another way. We're not transparent with ourselves and transparent with others, so we get, you know, when we get to a place where all hell breaking loose, or just, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's something that occurs and happens a lot. And quite personally, I'm thankful for the thoughts that I have right now, and the clarity and peace of mind that I have right now after my experience. And just, you know, I don't know, new outlook on life in a way, because I feel like we're all collectively going through things, good things and bad things. No matter if you're a silver child, a golden child, whatever you want to call it, got a silver spoon, or if you come from, you know, you come from the mud, you struggle, you hustle, get up there. I just feel like no matter what's going on in our lives, bro, at the end of the day, we're all human. At the end of the day, we all got one planet Earth. And at the end of the day, you know, we all breathe, bleed, poop, shit, eat, and ultimately leave this planet. And so I don't know, I feel like the time we spend worrying about stuff, the time we spend trying to figure things out, and the time we spend trying to prove ourselves, that's very absurd in a way. When we could just be our true selves and live life the best we can. Hopefully God, you know, our relation, and focus on our relationship with God. So I don't know, guys. I think shrooms, personally, for me, has just been an extra layer of clarity with maybe some of the thoughts that I did not want to conclude, as well as acknowledging some thoughts that were hidden beneath the surface. So, yeah, that's my video, and probably might stream later, probably might not. I just felt like I just kind of felt in a mood to share this experience with anyone who's willing to watch, anyone who's willing to just hear me ramble, talk on, or whatever. And I don't know, hopefully take away something positive from it. Oh boy, man, that's kind of funny. Okay, so if I'm like halfway started, I might as well just go and might as well just go and turn this shit in. And it's so weird, guys, because like, I don't know, I guess now that I'm done talking about shrooms, I just talk about how I feel afterwards. And so I don't know, dude. It's like, for me personally, I had a lot of insecurities about myself. And I don't say that lightly. Almost would want to say perfectionism is being one of them. And I don't know how to really like explain that. So guys, give me a minute to like collect my thoughts, because it's hard to describe these things. It really is. But I think the other thing I experienced was awakening. So what I mean by that word, because I guess people can take the word awakening different. You kind of got to be specific with these things. And I think that's what a lot of people fail to do when they talk about their experiences with certain things. Like, oh yeah, I had experience, This is my experience, and this is what happened. I had an awakening, bro. I transformed into this godly creature. So I think people need to provide context when they say certain phrases. That's just something I do. I don't know if it's because I'm, maybe it's just because, like I said, I'm kind of metaphoric in a way. Yeah, sometimes I can speak in symbolism, to portray a concept. So I like to go more in depth with things when I explain things. So if I do that, then that's just something to take note of or notice of. And why did my character log out? This is server maintenance today, bro. We experiencing server maintenance, or did I just accidentally sign out and didn't pay attention to it? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I didn't. I didn't get no notifications just telling me that I was going to log out today. So that just randomly happened. Server can't read. So obviously we're going to have a downtime maintenance. And you know what? I should keep up more with stuff, guys. I'm working on that because, guys, I do have Asperger's. It is just something that we go through. And I think, another thing that shrooms forced me to sit with is, my disability. So, if you guys don't know, people with Asperger's struggle with a lot of certain things. Which, honestly, isn't... I feel like we all struggle with the same things. It's just that people with Asperger's struggle a little more than normal people struggle with, because I really do not believe that one person is better than the other person. I do believe we all experience the same things in a way, and I believe we all have different strengths and weaknesses. That's what I believe in. So a person who's disabled or who has less ability, they just experience life with different challenges. They don't necessarily, they're not less of a person because of their disability. A lot of people got discriminate against people, but they just lack empathy and understanding. A lot of times they don't want to. They judge people and shit, and it's toxic. But from my perspective, anyone who has like disability, they have different certain challenges basically. And if you think about it, we all as human beings have different challenges. So just because somebody else's challenges stand out more than somebody else's challenges, or someone's features are more noticeable, or defects are more noticeable than another person's defects. Because let's face it, we all in some way got some kind of flaws and imperfections. And this is another conclusion I came to while on shrooms, which I basically believe I could have still came to the same conclusion. It's just with shrooms, it just kind of happened simultaneously. Like I said, it's just that honesty and transparency that I don't know, that just brings me to the conclusion of a lot of things in a way. But I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm not rambling, but I'm rambling. And I don't know, sometimes I think it's just good to like express your thoughts, which is something I do a lot. I'm gonna see if I can get this web browser moving, and we're gonna look at see what's going on with Mabinogi right now. And the reason why we haven't done that in a while is because for some reason I can never get this page to change. Like, or maybe I can refresh the page. But yeah, this shit's fucking stuck, dude. Okay, there you go. Well, it worked for a second and then it just went right back to being stuck. Like, I can't scroll, basically. And so, in the world, what I see is we try so hard to cover up flaws and mistakes. It's just like being, it's just like a person dressing up covering their scars and stuff with makeup and jewelry and shit instead of just being themselves. Um, let's go to news. Let's go to news. So it's January 10th. Yeah, no, I was about to say it ain't no January 10th. It was January 11th. I was like, January 10th was yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, did we go back in time? So this was yesterday's maintenance or or telling us. So yeah, I need to start reading like this website daily and keeping up with everything. I'm pretty sure you guys keep up with it. Got a habit of doing that. I haven't made a habit of doing that. And I think I'm gonna start doing that, making a habit of doing that, and then maybe start making like updates and stuff on my channel for content to help you guys with stuff that you might need help with or might not have time for. I might have time to read this shit. You might not have time to read this shit. I might have time to read this shit. So I read this shit for you guys instead of this, you know. You guys get, I don't know. Me personally, I hate reading. I can get tired of reading fast. But when I have the energy to read and I have the energy to do it, I just do it. And I don't know. When I was younger, I hell of a hard time reading and comprehending. It's not as bad now, as I've learned to use certain things and different ways to cope. But geez Louise, it was real before. Alright, so what I'm gonna do? Shit. I still want to kind of talk about my experience with shrooms a little bit, because when I say honesty and transparency, and I say it's like a big issue, a big issue. It really is. It really is. And I don't think, I know some people might vibe with it and some people might not vibe with it. Some people might understand it, some people might not understand it. But at the end of the day, man, I think we're afraid to be honest with ourselves. Fear, man. Fear is crippling. Fear. It's fear, bro. That's what it is. It's fear. Okay? Fear. That's the sickness that is killing us, I think. Us as a human race, I would say. And I know it can't just be me. That's what I'm talking about. It can't just be me. You can pretend, we can all sit up here and pretend like we don't struggle with these things, but I quite personally think it's universal. Like I said, man, I see people, young people, old people. I see how we interact with each other, how we talk to each other, how we treat each other, bro. So I know it's some shit underneath the surface, and we don't wanna admit it. We don't want to be honest with ourselves. We don't want to be transparent with each other and with ourselves. So that's what's killing a lot of our relationships. What's killing, we don't want to listen. We don't want to be empathetic. We don't want to be understanding. We want to be compassionate. We don't want to be transparent. We don't want to be honest. It's fear. I think at the root of it is fear. Alright, so what I was gonna do is change my YouTube description, because I'm still adding stuff to it. Trying to put a little flavor for you guys. So when y'all click on my page, it's something. I got some taste to it instead of instead of it just being bland. But yeah, I'm just I just thought it'd be a waste to us have these thoughts and not share them. If you think about it, if you guys really think about it, all the shit we go through, all the shit we've been through. If you come down with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, all the shit we go through, okay, the majority of it. And now, like I said, I can't make this shit up, man, because I see people and how they move, how they act, how they behave, and sometimes I just sit down and think, I'm like, what's this person dealing with that they acting like this? What's this person thinking in their head that this is how they behave, this is how they live, I just be thinking, like, really had to sit down and think, because I'll be around people, I deal with people, different kinds of people and stuff. It's just like, young people, old people, kids, like, I just be thinking in my head, like, you feel me? Like, you guys don't think I'm overthinking, but like, I sit down and I think about shit, man. I think as an individual, it's good to have some clarity in thinking, especially if we as people are going to be involved with making change on this planet, which a lot of times some of us need to. But let me go ahead and get up for a second, and because honestly I might have to get off in a minute here. So I'm just gonna subtly go A-OK. And I don't know, let me see like what time maintenance goes. Man, I can't really see it on this tab, unfortunately, on this browser tab, and that's the main purpose for me to the main reason for me having this up to begin with is to be able to use it. The hell? But for whatever reason my mouse does not. So it seems like this is only an issue with the main site. So on the main site, I can't scroll, I can't look at anything. Sometimes it registers my scroll, and other times it doesn't. So that's it's kind of fucked up if you think about it. So the only thought in the back of my mind is, damn, is there a better or another way to do this? So the answer to that is like yes, but I had to use my main browser for that. But yeah, guys, let me go away from A-OK for a little bit. I can't stress enough that you have only one life. Only one life to live. No one can live it for you. Okay, and to make the most with it, because we're not always, like, all I can say is we're lucky to be alive. Yeah, with all the shit that happens in the world, all the shit that people do in society, all, you feel me? Mistakes, accidents, and all, and we're still here breathing. You can't take that for granted. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. You can't take life for granted. So you gotta cherish it, and you gotta escape your thoughts. You gotta escape your fears. You gotta escape your anxiety. I feel like I'm about to speak in tongues, bro. But you only get one life to live, and why waste it? Why waste it in fear? Why waste it in worry? Why waste it doing nothing when you could be doing something? And that something could be anything, as long as you go to school, as long as you continue to do things, as long as you continue to try and make mistakes and keep pushing yourself and keep going. Eventually, you're gonna get to a place where you feel more confident about yourself. You feel more, qualified. I mean, a lot of if you have self-esteem issues, low self-worth, a lot of I feel like the issues maybe some of us have or some of us deal with. I myself personally, have dealt or have had, had these things occur. I just feel like any and everything you could deal with life. I don't know. Maybe you get to a place where you have a lot of shit happening, and you just you isolate yourself. You start dealing with people. You start trusting people. And blah 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 blah. I know some people. How can I say it? Some people make it obvious while others don't. So what I mean by that is, like, you'll get with someone, be around somebody, deal with somebody, and they'll like do things in a way to push you away. We'll do stuff to each other to push each other away, but what we're actually doing is we're displaying. How can I say it? Inner. We're just. We're being honest with ourselves without being honest, basically. We're basically saying that, I'm hurt in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So there's no telling what, when, and where, but somewhere along the line, some thoughts and some defense mechanisms and some ideas popped up. And listen, the only way to break it is self-love. Love is the answer, okay? Love is the answer. It's always going to be the answer to everything in the end. If you want to overcome fear, it's going to be love. If you want to break out of that prison, you got to realize it's love. What you didn't get, or what you missed out on, or what you're trying to get, or what hurts you, okay, was the absence of love. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. So a lot of people hurt. That's why a lot of people are angry. That's why a lot of people okay, it manifests in a variety of ways, but at the root core of it, okay. So I think I said enough. I think I said a lot, and these are just basic concepts. That seems cliche. It really does seem cliche, but after doing shrooms, because myself personally was in denial about what people are saying, like, oh yeah, it's about self love, yeah, love yourself, blah 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 blah, separation, anxiety, depression, blah 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 blah. Okay, it's weird to say that the cure to it, the cure to getting better, is going to be self love. It's going to be giving yourself what you didn't get, or what your friend didn't give you, or what your spouse didn't give you. Okay. Or what your parents didn't give you, or what your caregivers didn't give you. Okay, it's that love, and you're supposed to take that love and love others. So That's what you're missing. I just gave you. Ugh, I can't speak. I was giving you the keys. Obviously, wasn't really expecting to say that, but I hope it does help someone, some wandering soul, some souls. I can't say soul. I gotta say souls. Some souls out there, godless, and I guess I'll like I said, I'll stream later. But yeah, ciao for now.